trying.
Okay, what is 50%?
What you can do.
Hey guys, welcome to Primal Spirits Distillery. My name is Chris, and I've got some really special guests with me. They go by the names of
Patrick?
I'm Harold.
Carlos, Tina.
So, you would have seen earlier in the week the announcement made by Mr. Luke M himself considering our collaboration, and we are proud to say this is the very first episode. So yeah, guys, if you're joining us, welcome. Stick around. You know what to do. Do the right thing. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, get notified. And without any further ado, we're going to dive into the topic. And I think this is one that you guys are going to like. And it's more like a question that we have. And the question goes, why do guys in their mid-20s find it hard to commit to a serious romantic relationship? So,
It's a very
I mean, it's a very boxed-in question, but we can expand it. I mean, it's a free space. We can speak openly about it. But yeah, gents, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Bro, I don't even know. I don't even know where to touch. I think there are a lot of factors.
There's a lot of, I was about to say that as well, there's actually a lot of factors to look at. Firstly, it depends on where the man is, firstly, in his own personal life. You know, joining a relationship requires quite a lot. It's not a matter of just diving in and be like, yo, I've got a girlfriend, or I'm seeing someone. There's factors. Can you provide for the person? Are you able to take care of the person and yourself? Are you, what are your plans? Are you with this person because you want to build something together, or are you just passing time? It's a lot of factors as well before, like you said, it is a boss-up question, but I believe we're going to expand it. And then,
Yeah, and I'd love to touch on that point you said, where you're like, it's more speaking about the intentions, right?
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want from this person? Do you guys want to be seriously involved? Do you just want to mess around? And this is where I'm going to dive in and give my straight up honest opinion and say people aren't being honest enough, okay? People aren't being direct with what they want. Granted, the game is indirect. I mean, that's the language we understand in terms of game, in terms of like attraction with women. It's always indirect. But even in that, you can find a way where you put it forward. You tell people, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. For example, I'm not committing to serious relationship, not because I can't provide for the woman, or not because I'm not in a position to take care of them, or I don't have time. I mean, dude, I can make up time, but I would prefer to see multiple people. If it means I'm gonna be promiscuous, that's it. That's just me though.
That's your point of opinion.
That's me.
being straight up.
People aren't being direct enough. I mean, that's where I stand.
Okay, you prefer that. So no, is it monogamy for you?
It's monogamy is a long-term thing for me.
Okay, for now.
For now.
You prefer to see a lot of people?
Absolutely. If not now, when? What? Would you want me to get married and then do that?
Okay, no, of course not. Of course not. I mean, yes, a lot of factors play into it. I understand. I do understand. But don't you think the requirements within the dating market is just too up there and too ridiculous? We've blown it out of proportion.
If I can jump in with what you just said now. Well, okay, with me, it brings me back to how relationships have evolved.
Oh, yes.
Because if you look at where, we're talking about us, let's talk about our age mate.
Yes.
In the times in which we started knowing about relationships, it was more of a serious thing. The person you're with, it's with intentions of actually having something more than what you're just starting with. In today's time, it's about let's see what comes out of it. So it's not a matter of I'm coming in because I see potential or because I see that you possess the set skills that I want my partner to have. It's like, let's see what fire starts up when we come together, And with what I said, seeing multiple people, it's more of like, I'm trying to see where I fit in best. That's just how I see how it's like, it's a meme that goes on with Future, for instance. When Future was with Ciara, she was this, and then when she met the guy that she's with now, she's now this calm person. So who you are with will somehow expose a certain part of who you are. So before you settle down, you know, try out a few chicken wings.
I mean, personally, I'm for getting to know multiple people, because I mean the whole purpose of dating is to obtain information that will determine whether you people are compatible or not.
Data collection.
Yes, data collection. That's the whole reason why. So yeah, I'm for that, getting to know people and all. I'm all for that. But with regards to serious relationship, as in marriage, no, guys, I fear.
Why do you
Question,
feel? Wait. And then you're speaking of multiple people. What do you mean? Like multiple people at the same time? Like seeing
No,
people at the
not
same
multiple people. Bro, do you exhaust me personally?
Yeah,
you know.
that's the point I was going to mention. If we are going to go the multiple angle, you know, relationships take a huge toll on who you are.
Yeah,
Each
true,
person lives with a part of you.
Yes, true.
So I thought maybe you were saying
No, not multiple people as in one time seeing multiple people. I can't. I can only do one person, you know, getting to know one person. And if I see that the data being collected is not what I want as part of my future, no. I mean, it goes back to the conversation we had a couple of weeks back, where I said, personally, I'm at the point where I do fear, because I can't see, you know, I can't see anyone that I see now in the future, because they don't have, you know, the potential I want to see.
Yeah.
What if I work myself up there, then I meet a lot of individuals who I'm now compatible with, and I have someone from, you know, from old days, and now it becomes difficult.
I have a question for what you just said now and what Carlos brought up. Do you then put a time lapse on the amount of people you meet? Do you be like, in the next 3-4 months, I should know whether I'm proceeding or not before I move on to the next person? Or you're just gonna be like, I'm just befriending everyone, but I'm not committing to anyone?
Yeah, I think I can answer the question since I brought up that thing. The time lapse thing, it's much less of a time lapse and more of a state of mind of where you are actually, right? Let's speak about me, for instance. There are people our age who aren't really into getting into serious relationships. Like it's not really what you're thinking about right now. Therefore, you go that route. The multiple people that I'm vibing with now are not like, I'm not looking at them long term. It's temporary, right? So it's much less of how long can I leave this person on, or how long can they stick around, and more of how can I make the best of this moment right now. It's not really like me thinking long term. I'm gonna get to long term thinking at some point, but not now.
Don't you think, okay, back to what Errol said with regards to is it as things go, or is it time based, you know, with the duration to it? I think it has to, personally, I feel like it has to have like a duration to it, because you're intentional.
Yeah.
In terms of collecting data, we're talking about getting to know this person.
Cool.
I mean, you're intentional. I think you have to put it in your mind to say, you know what, within this space of time, if I don't get what I need, I'm all good.
You're all good as in you what? You're all good.
I move on. Find someone else. Get to know someone else.
But now what happens if you get to that time frame where you said within 5 years I will get and
You see?
yeah, you tell yourself within 5 years I'll get a person and I'll settle down. Then that 5 years actually comes, but there's still not that compatible person. Are you being forced into marriage because you feel like it's now time, or are you still going to allow nature to bring someone to you?
But with what you just said now, in terms of, is that person compatible? Is there ever someone that's compatible for you?
100% no.
Not 100%.
That's one thing I also feel like as young people we need to come to the realization of. As much as you say, look, I'm not ready for a serious relationship, you're never going to get that person that will tick all the boxes.
Of course.
At some point you must put yourself together, pick your person and walk into this life.
Relationships are compromise. Like
I think
that's what they are.
True.
They are compromise. And going back to what Pat said earlier about the ridiculous standards or somewhat ridiculous standards that are set today, that could be a barrier, right? And that in itself is a compromise, because a lot of those standards don't speak to your core values, right? You're gonna have to compromise and meet up to that standard, or change a part of you just so you tick that other person's box to get there. I mean, that's essentially what it boils down to. How willing are you to compromise? And then the question then is, how ridiculous are those standards? What does ridiculous standard even mean then?
You know, guys, as I'm sitting here, one thing that also made it very difficult for us, our generation, I think it was the emergence of social media.
And I'm going to touch on what Carlos said, the emergence of social media. You're being exposed to these unrealistic beauty standards, right? And then you're looking at your person or the girls that are in your environment and you're like, but they don't look like that, right? And then subconsciously it starts messing with you. And then this is the standard of woman you want, whereas this person is an outlier. You know what I'm saying? Like in a general sense, especially in your environment, you would not interact with that kind of person. Like this picture is out there for the world to see. It's on a global stage. And now you want to take that ridiculous standard and apply it to girls you meet on an everyday basis. It messes with you, bro. Like I've been there, man. Like, so dark place to be.
I mean, I think that's why I wanted to link it with that ridiculous standard with what you're saying, because you get exposed to all this. Yes, I think you brought up a good idea. You get exposed to all this, then all of a sudden within you start having these ridiculous preferences of the type of woman you want to date because of so and so you saw. You know, then if you have someone already, you know, they can't match the standard, it looks bad.
You're locked. That's why how to deal with that, I feel like, I don't know, it's the responsibility to help your partner or whoever you're with to grow.
Exactly.
If I may just jump in, with what you just said. Okay, this is my belief. I believe that firstly, as me myself, this is how I actually handle my situations, is that if I know who I am first and foremost, there's a very smaller chance of me meeting someone who's far off or who's got ridiculous standards or requests from what I want. Because then it's like what they say, you attract who you are. Those are the same feathers flock together.
Sure.
So if you, a particular guy, you know who you are individually, the people who come to you will somehow align with who you are.
Oh yeah,
You know?
true. Yeah,
And also in my case, I'm going to use an example. At my age, for instance, I'm 28.
damn, bro.
My time is clocking, you know. I don't have any kids, I don't have no girlfriend. I need to start pulling my socks off this many times, you know. So I can't just be all out there and be like, you know what, I'm still trying. I'm still trying to see where I fit in. No, at this point in time, it's know who I am, and then what do you want from me? You know, and with how we started initially with the topic of what men and dating and all that stuff, with where I am, for instance, and looking at where we are in South Africa, for instance, there's a very high chance of people who are my age, ladies and men who have kids who they're not taking care of, and ladies who are stuck with kids, and the man is gone.
Yeah.
You know, there's that fact and that reality. And I don't want to be amongst us that stats of I've got kids and here I am living my own life like I don't have any kids, for instance. So it's more like know who you are first and foremost, and then social media won't have a handle on you, for example. You're not gonna go in everyone's DM and be like, oh, you are like your pics, this stuff. Do you want to work together? Like I was a photographer and that was one of my tactics. I'm like, yo, do you want to come through? I want to take pictures for my portfolio. And then you come through, seal the deal, things over. But at some point, all that has to phase out. At some point, all that has to phase out.
I'm going to take a shot at women to say they make this also very difficult for us.
For the man, okay.
Remember what we're saying, right?
Okay.
You have to get someone that is within your vibration, someone that is within your level. Really, I matriculated with you, girl. I cannot be a billionaire with you.
That's true.
We are together. We are hustling together. So, you know, you can't expect me to afford 12 cows at this point.
Which is, those can be put into that
Exactly,
ridiculous,
right?
That is ridiculous.
But I feel like
ridiculous.
now, as young men, we need to also be a bit responsible. If you can't do the extravagant, do 50%, just to show the family that at least I'm serious. Over
You know, at least you try.
Okay, what is 50%?
what you can do.
He said it.
I think just don't
said
kill
it.
yourself. Don't
Yeah,
above and
pretty
beyond.
much, like-
Getting debts, credits. Don't do that.
Nah. Look, intention and like the willingness to do something, it speaks volumes for you. If you can put it out there, like, look, this is where I am in life right now, and this is where I aspire to be. This is what I'm doing to get there,
Yeah.
bro. It counts in your favor so many times.
Intention does matter.
Yeah, it does. Intention and actually having something to show for it as well.
That's why I even asked the time lapse things, because when you're coming in, you need to know, like, I'm coming in to get data. So within 3-4 months, don't waste the latest time. If you have already collected your data and be like, no, this is not it.
She's not the
Yeah,
one.
don't stay there for another 3-4 months because the relationship is sweet.
But can we not ignore? Okay, we can't ignore the reason
We're not
why.
taking shots at you.
No. No, hey, I'm not offended at all.
Okay.
But I'm putting it out there that, for example, if I overstay my welcome, we know why I overstayed my welcome. Okay? Obviously, there's another benefit that I'm getting from
Say it.
the relationship.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, bro, sex. Okay?
Some guy even said that when you can only afford 100, but you want a BMW, you hold on to that 100 until you can afford a BMW.
Is that not the same tactic girls are using nowadays?
But guys, is that what we should be doing? That's what I'm just saying.
No,
should
but
not.
what he's saying is true. Girls are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got this
that's why
guy
it's
who's
very
earning
easy.
5,000. I'll hold on to him for now. I fix myself up. Then I'll get someone who's earning 50,000 or 25.
But basically,
Like that.
that's the rule of dating. That's why it's becoming very difficult for those who are genuine and want something good out
True.
of it.
And the
Because
final
the
things,
games and
yeah.
the rules of the game has changed.
Funny thing what Carlos said, just to add on, guys, we have to take out money and then get broke. Girls, they don't bring money in. They bring something else.
Is that not the normal question? What do you bring to the table?
I'm seeing it circulating.
I heard another one say,
Right? So that's all.
I heard someone say, I'm the table.
There we go. That right there answers the question, bro. She's the table.
But some women attempt to answer Shem. They try their best.
No, look, again, I feel like there shouldn't be a need for anyone to say, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah,
Peep
That
this,
statement came
peep
out of
this, bro.
anger.
Exactly. I knew what I was doing when I approached you, okay? I knew what I was doing. What do you bring to the table wasn't the first thought in my head when I went.
Of course.
It's a petty move, like, and it goes back to,
The economy. It's tough. Petrol has gone up.
No, don't you think that question is out of frustration? Like,
It
when a
is,
man is
man.
tired, he's like, okay, what do you bring to the table?
I think so.
it can be like due to the, you know, the difference in expectation. Like, this is what the man expects from his woman, and this is what the woman expects. In many cases, they're not the same thing, right? And then
But
when
they
it
ever
becomes
the
too
same?
obvious, then those questions come out, and then that's where I feel like guys around my age, right? By the way, 25, but around my age, guys then start reconsidering, like, well, is it really worth it? I could be doing something else. I mean, this is a building stage. I could be doing this. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, like, I read an article that said your mid to late 20s are when you are most emotionally vulnerable. Like, this is where your mental health is critical. You need to, you know, you really do need to make decisions that are like life-changing and decisions that you've never made before. Now you're making those decisions about what your career, where you want to live, and now you've got to add your woman as well, or your person, right? So it weighs down on you, bro. So if you're thinking of all that stress, sometimes it's better to distance yourself. Like, I don't want to deal with that just yet. I know I'm going to have to, but let me just mute it for now and not entertain a relationship, basically.
Don't you think now people in our age category, there's two groups now divided? It comes back to Harold's point. A lot of guys have not positioned themselves, like they don't know what they want, right? So they're just lost. Hence, we just participate in casual hookups, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's another
Case in
group
point.
of guys. Keep going. Okay. Then there's another group of guys who just want to focus on, getting their things together, the serious ones. Because I mean, it's like that. That's life.
What you just said, I'm using me as an example. In my first 20s, because I started working, I think I was 21 when I started working, my first job, if I'm not mistaken. From the age of 21 to 25, my whole reason was like, oh dude, you're making money now, YOLO. You know, where the ladies at, where the parties at, you know. Yeah. And as soon as you reach 25, you're like, I need to reconsider. Like, I've wasted so much money. I could have paid off a car with these years. True. By now, I could have been investing into a house. Yeah. You know, I mean, at the end, for me, my target by 35, any man, you should be married with a kid. You come at 35, sending a message, where's the party at? My brother, you 35. You know what I'm saying? You 35. True. And it takes at least 3 to 4 years to build a relationship. You don't find a girlfriend now and then 2 months later, how many cows do you want?
You know, Congolese people.
That's a connection. No. Who are you? Who's your father? Who's your man?
Let's build it up. True. Yeah.
What witchcraft is behind you?
You have to collect all this.
You have to.
You do.
So that you know what you're dealing with.
Church and there's your wife in the front.
No, but I disagree. I disagree with Harold's point. Quite simply because the definition of a young person is from 18 to 35, right?
Okay.
So in my mind, 18 to 35 are explorative years. Look, if it means between now and the time I'm 35, I can up and leave just like that and start over somewhere else, bro, I'm gonna take that option every single time. This means from 18 to 35, the notion of being tied down by something not like that doesn't have to do with my career. Because career is a big thing. I mean, from 25 onwards, you start thinking about it a lot, right? Like, okay, where am I going? If it doesn't have to do with your career, your family, your health, dude, it's secondary. Like, I'm from my perspective.
For me, it boils down to, at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship with someone, the question will always be, is this person worth it?
Yeah.
For more investment. Is this person worth it? You need to keep asking yourself. I mean, we do that even with business. You start a particular business, you're seeing this business, is it worth it?
At the early stages, yes.
That's what actually decides whether you go along with this person or actually not. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is this person worth this challenge that I'm going through right now?
So, because when you approach a relationship, you look at it as an investment deal. Is it I'm putting in this much,
and this is what I want
this much.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think with first thing you have to ask yourself, like me personally, where am I? What am I looking for? Do I want a person to work with? Do I want a person to play with? I mean, play with.
No, but there are relationships even today.
So wrong.
But
facts.
They are open marriages. Someone who's married and they're like, no,
that's
we're
another
open.
point. Another thing, I feel like the morality, people have lost their morals in general. Like, it's too much out there, too much experiences, too much fetishes that is messing up human beings as well.
You see, that's my fear. I think going back to Chris' point, right? And the part of trying to explore, right? That's my worst. That's one nightmare I don't want to look at, but I know it's there.
If someone is exploring, in that process of exploring, a lot of hearts will be broken.
And my fear is you might leave kids behind.
That's another thing. You see, that's
you don't necessarily have to. I mean, there's ways to prevent that.
Wait, guys.
There's ways to prevent that.
What's the balance of exploring? Because at the end of the day, if you are on that mentality, what's the balance to say? Do you only be with that when you're in a relationship? Do you respect and honor that relationship to say, you know what? This might work out, so let me give my all. Or you in that mentality to say, I'm only giving 20 because I'm still exploring.
But that's not commitment.
But that speaks also on his point and my point. His point would cover the second part you're bringing up of exploring. Like he said, he's not willing to commit as yet.
Yeah,
right?
I've isolated the two incidents, right? Where in the explorative phase, I'm not on that. So it's kind of, it's a difficult thing to do because you find genuine people out there, but you've now got to convince yourself that if I'm agreeing that I'm going to explore for X amount of years, this means for X amount of years, I mean, it's easier said than done, right?
But do you make it clear to the people you're meeting that I'm exploring, or do you literally sell them dreams?
I used to sell people dreams, but
Chris has been in the market.
no, I did. But then I got to a point where I became a lot more vocal about where I was, because I realized that time is precious. Like, dude, time is something you can't take back.
And it's
So
both yours and her time.
it's both hers and ours. And you look at the sheer population on planet Earth. I read a crazy statistic that there's about what two times more women than there are
for
men.
every man, there's 2 to 3 women.
You understand?
Yeah.
Why are we beating around the bush, bro? The sample size is enormous.
But that's
So we have to cover ground.
No, but that's his question. Polygamy or monogamy?
Yeah, that's what I asked you.
During commitment, monogamy, without question.
Okay, during commitment.
Yes.
Prior to that.
What? Really?
Okay, you know one thing, guys. This is the reason why I don't want to face. There's a nightmare in me. There's one thing I was telling him about. To say, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush, right? Within every person, there is the ability to be the most baddest person ever, and you can also be the goodest, person, whatever, ever, right? Now, with that, knowing that and being aware of that, personally, I can't undermine my weaknesses, and that is okay. I'm getting there.
I'm listening.
And that is when it comes to relationships, I still have my biggest fear, and that is wasting someone else's time, because I know I'm capable of it.
We share the same fear.
I'm capable of
We share
it.
the same fear.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm capable of betrayal. I can walk out on a person at the age of 35.
You see what you just said? No, let's be honest. What you just said, I don't have attachment issues. I don't struggle with attachment issues. I can be with you for 2-3 years, and out of nowhere I can be like, you know what? Nah,
Yeah,
I'm good.
this isn't for me.
And trust me, I will never text you ever again. And I have experience. I have people on my contact. I have your number, but I'm like, yeah, dude, me and you.
So good.
And that's how I'm thinking. Okay, I'm fine with that, but how is she handling it?
That's another issue.
And that's the fear I have, because next thing you want, you're in a committed relationship with your wife. I'm looking for Harold. Remember, you broke my heart 5 years ago. And here's your wife, nigga.
Or on your wedding day.
On your wedding day.
She's going to object to
Those
the
are my
union.
fears, man.
You see, this is my fear. Hence, even when I get someone's number, I approach them and talk to them. I'll converse with them for a while. Then it kicks in. I said, no, thank you. I keep quiet. It normally ends like that, because I overthink things. Like when I get someone trying to talk, to a person, I just don't flow. I took time to consider it. That's why I approached you. And after approaching you and collecting data, I think about it. And because of thinking about it, and I see, just ends there.
But we're losing like that. I feel like we're losing what love is. Like, what is it about?
I understand.
Wait, are we going to loud face?
Yeah.
Are we going to hear you?
No, okay.
We not love, but I'm just saying. There comes that you have to be vulnerable.
I understand.
That's
I understand.
But now, I feel like if you come with those objections, like those thoughts and those kind of things, it creates clogging. You become clogged up. You don't know whether to move forward or to move backward. That's one point. And another point, I say, with women don't want the truth. Personally, for me, women don't want the truth. Hence, men tend to lie to get what they want.
True.
Because if I can tell you, no, they just say it on their Facebook and WhatsApp captions. I want the truth. Be real. What do you want from the onset? But you don't.
No.
You really
Because,
don't.
dude, and I couldn't agree with you more, and thank you for putting it out there. You've got to, I'm out here preaching vocalism, but you've got to be sneaky about how you do it. You can't be upfront.
He's out here preaching vocalism.
I'm not going to be upfront and say, hi, miss, I think you're very good looking. I want to engage in a casual relationship with you. She'll be like, what? No, what do you take me for? No, man.
Valid point. And most of the time, girls will tell you, what, I'm cheap? You think you just walk up to me and just tell me, and I'm just going to give it to you?
But the point is, in that sense, it creates a lot of room for the real, like people who really want to commit, people who are like who have good intentions, and then the people that don't, and now they sneak their way into there. They're like, okay, so this is an avenue, I'm going to take it.
Which ruins it
myself there.
for the good people with good intentions.
Which it does, but again, in 2021, this shouldn't be a problem. We know what's up. Girls and boys and girls alike, we aren't stupid, guys. We are very much informed. We know what's going on. I feel like if you approach somebody and let's say if you want to be blunt, and I mean blunt about something, and they react, that's a fake reaction. I'm sorry. You know things like this exist. You know.
What do you
think?
think? What? Give us an example.
For
of the
example,
reaction.
if I had to come to you and pitch that same thing and be like, I think you're cute, all right? I'm not looking for anything real, but we can vibe. You know what I'm saying? We can be casual. And you're like, what? You know, like, and you lose your mind about it. Like, I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. That's a fake reaction. You know people are like that. You've just never encountered them, granted, but then you could just say, look, I'm not about that. Thank you, but no. Don't blow it out of proportion and generalize men that, you know what I'm saying?
With what you're saying, I've experienced it. Most of the time, it's an innovation because they want it, but they don't want to admit it. They want you to fight for it. They have the same intention as you, like, you know what, I'm in the same place as you, but try and fight for it, you know?
So it goes back to what.
So that's what he says. So the guy, as much as you know that's what she wants, but sell it. Sell the dreams. Let her buy the dreams, and then at the end of the day, both of you all know.
Women fall for lies.
Yeah.
More than the truth.
More than the truth. They want that.
For me personally, according to what I've observed.
No, which is true.
It's true,
I mean,
man. Look, we don't have the stats, we don't have the facts, but based on our experiences, we've seen most of the girls I've been with, I've sold them dreams and they fell for it.
Well,
and the ones that try selling the truth, they're like,
they didn't believe.
They'll be like, you know, maybe 5 years from now, I'm not ready. Okay, cool. I mean, it's gonna take us 5 years before we can actually say let's get married, but okay.
I mean, gentlemen, we all know the magic words, do we not?
We do.
No, I need to remind you.
Those three beautiful words. You know those magic words.
Yeah.
I mean, Kate, like to agree, to add to your point, and Carlos as well. Many times, right? People, they know what's up, but they like the comfort that comes with believing that this is an honest approach. Right,
Yeah,
it's comforting.
yeah.
It makes you seem less.
So is it ignorance?
No, bro. It's like a screen. You don't want to feel guilty about
it's
it.
Sugarcoating.
Pretty much. You don't want to feel so bad about it. So you kind of like, okay, I wanted to. However, why don't I make a young screen kind of like to block
And it's very
that blunt
It's also
approach?
very bad. Nowadays, when you meet a lady, you already know she's been really through a lot. Unlike before, the body count also is another thing to consider.
Yeah, man.
There is too much mingling happening. By the time you meet a lady, she's already broken, finished, dejected.
But also, just add on to what I was saying.
You have to add all that list.
But this is one thing I struggle with. If you have gone through so much, and yes, I do understand, I sympathize and empathize with you, but don't just drop it on me.
Yeah.
I've also had my own trauma.
Share, yeah, so things.
Don't now come be like, oh no, my ex was never calling me regular, you need to call me every day. No, that's not me. I've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this market is brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. I was reading. I was going through an article that analyzed the sexual or whatever sexual encounter or sexual activeness between women and men. Do you realize for men it has actually reduced over the years?
What, the desire to have sex? Or?
No, the sexual encounters, like body count.
Yeah.
For men, it has actually reduced, reduced bad. Ladies, it has shot up like that, which is crazy and scary.
I don't think it's extraordinary. The only difference is now you have documented statistics. I believe it's always been like that, bro. Look. No, listen. Let me defend it. Let me defend it. The only difference now is we live in a world where information is readily available and everybody is like taking it with an open mind.
Okay.
It's always been like that, I think. Only difference is they didn't tell you about it. It was like a hush-hush thing. Like, okay, we know girls have a higher body count than you. Girls have more options than you. Facts. Bro, I'm not going to say I've got 5 girls waiting for me. That's a lie, fam.
But a girl can say that.
She can definitely say that with confidence.
But unless you Drake.
But even Drake, most of the guys pay. And I'm sorry to say this, Lil Wayne openly said it. He pays.
Damn.
Yeah. Most of the guys just like, you know what, give me, you know, like a strip club, give me a few girls. That's because, and it's not your game that got them there. It's your money.
It's your money, yeah. It's your status, it's your resources.
It might not be an obvious thing where she's like, no, I'm a prostitute, you need to pay me. No, but the fact that you have to give her money
transaction going
for that to happen, that already compromises the whole experience.
So do you think that's the whole reason why the body count is high? Because with resources, it's easy.
No, I think
Because I think it's resources.
If you have money, you can abuse everything, including humans.
it is resources, and it's also, how do you put it? Like, if you look at biologically the urge for sexual interaction, right? Men are the chasers, right? We're in a position where we are chasing the goods. Okay? This then means that good, bro. This is YouTube. We're not trying to get all filthy up in here. Let's keep it PG-13. Okay. Men be chasing the goods, and women are aware of this. And I will always keep going back to this fact and keep saying that we are not uninformed. People know about this. Girls are very much aware of the fact that they have people that are after them. Like, a woman doesn't have to be super attractive to have men come after her. On the flip side, my guy, dude, to have, let's say, if you needed to make yourself equal to a woman,
you have to have a lot of different things attached to that.
With a man is value, resources. How much can he give me?
And also, with what you said, like most men, also to what is like, if you're going to, for example, a party, when all the guys walk in, we all just look normal. Gents. These are all just gents.
it's basic, right?
But when the girls start walking in, how many eyes turn?
Bro,
you all be like,
we be rubbernecking, like, okay.
Even girls look like, what dress is that?
He had a saying to say, in a party with, full of guys, right? One girl, even if she's not that attractive, for that day, she will become the most attractive to everyone there.
That's the heat. All our attention will be there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, which is
On the flip side, if there's a party full of women, it is possible that as a gent, if you walk in there, you will have minimal interaction. Bro, it's possible that somebody might not even talk to you. It's a reality.
true.
And the body count, what you're saying, man, that girl can sleep with everyone in there. But the guys just sleep with that one chick. So when you leave, it's one girl. When she leaves, it's 5 guys.
Okay, she's not really. She can't.
I'm just exaggerating it. But just add what you said.
No, but I think it's because I was looking also at the stats, South African stats. Only about 31 point something % of South African homes or black homes have fathers. So the rest.
Do you think that's because men, especially young men, do not want to commit earlier? Because if you're looking at it historically, especially in an African background, our fathers had us like around our age, you know what I'm saying? Like you traditionally had men in their early to mid 20s having families already. Do you think that statistic is as a result of us being this younger generation not wanting to commit?
Yes, it is. It's directly linked to that.
If I may just ask with what you just said, is it okay? This is just my outlook. Is it because the lady has refused to give the men the kids, and she's figured, no, these are my children, I must stay with my kids. You can leave us.
No, they are walking out. Men are walking.
Also, the men actually just choose to walk out from everything, the kids and the relationship.
Majority of men are walking out. I think it's because of that. It's no longer a priority.
Yeah.
You see, the family structure is no longer a priority.
You need to also see the shift in society. Long ago, like the economy was more industrialized. You go into a factory, you come home. Nowadays, we are under capitalism. There's so much ventures. Everybody wants to pursue their dream. And you want to tie me down with a baby. No.
And also, it's
I'm
true.
going.
There's a lot.
Juice.
It's like I'm going. Is it not what he's talking about?
No, but
I mean, it comes back to your point.
But it validifies his point.
Yes, to say, you know what? If I'm pursuing my dream, even at 35,
I can realistically start a family at 35. It's not impossible, bro.
But truth of the matter, there is no cap. The only time there was a cap is back in our parents' time. They, like, even now, like, this is something most recent. My uncles from Congo called my mom and guys like, when is Hela getting married? All of us were married and we were all younger than him.
Yo.
And I'm like, excuse me, are you the ones gonna fight for me a wife? No. It's not a competition, you know.
But
It's true.
which I say at the end, which is wrong. All this thing of like this, it's just completely wrong. If you want to explore, there's a right way to explore. If you want to be committed, there's a right. Every venture that you choose to do, there's a right way of going about it.
Which is very
There
true.
is a right way of going about
Which is very true. Don't you, guys?
it. Don't you want?
Now we no family structures because
Okay.
we can see the family structure is being ruined.
Yeah.
Let's put it straight. It's being ruined, and we are all black here, and we are the ones with the worst stats.
Black people.
His name is Caucasian.
Homie switched up on us real quick.
Blacks.
Like we are the worst. Like the stats are against us, right? Compared to coloreds guys. Compared to Indians, compared to white people, we are the worst. Now, what can we do as black people within this?
I'm gonna take it from Kanye West's perspective. This is where I felt like I resonated with Kanye.
Can you trust Kanye?
When he this is let me just say on this particular point, this is why my spirit resonated with him. He literally said the reason why I'm now doing it for Jesus and not the culture is because what is this culture? He says, what is really this culture? Because if you listen to rap music, it's glorifying drugs, it's glorifying our youth becoming medicated on drugs, unable to focus, sleeping with multiple women. Is that what we're calling the culture? I'm not gonna stand and push this that's destroying my black community. So one of the channels I would use, I would say, we need to affect mainstream media a lot. Because a lot of these type of tendencies, a lot of young people are getting it from social media. Look at the shows we have. I had DSTV recently. I never had it for a while, but I had it. It's leaking out on mainstream media. Nonsense.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Things that your parents would consider an abomination. Now it's a norm to play them. It's a reality show of a guy that has 10 women to choose from. Before, we never used to see such a thing. So I feel like a lot of the music, a lot of television programs has to be affected a lot, because that's also what is causing a lot of people to lose their morals on relationships, on what love is. We think it's a taste and thing, but as we come and taste to destroy.
No, but even in testing, people catch feelings, bro. I mean, we're talking about hearts. Amongst all these years, you're gonna break a lot of hearts, but
You're gonna break
you're
hearts.
really gonna like treat your fellow human beings like this.
This is where
There's a right way of doing it.
no, this is where I'm gonna step in and say, again, yes, you can break hearts, but I feel like if you go in to that kind of thing where you want to be casual and not commit, right, then look, it's quite obvious. Like, people can see it. Okay, it's not as obvious as you want it to be, but after a while it catches on and people are aware of that quality. This is this kind of person, he's into that.
Yeah.
If you, as the other person, knowing this, still goes there, that's ignorance on your part. I'm sorry, I will, like, people who are casual, as Carlos said, there's a right way to do it. And the right way to do it is birds of a feather flock together. Go with people, because there are people like that. Trust me.
Who are up for casual type of
Absolutely.
relationship.
I'm not joking, bro. I'm not joking. In the world we live in 2021, plenty of people like that.
Which personally I don't disagree with. Like, it's better that way, you know?
Absolutely.
When I came across this lady, right? This lady who went on social media and she asked to say, you know what, guys, I need someone, just a hookup, you know. I have everything. She's bawling, of course. She's like, I have everything. This person can come to this address and that. I need someone, and she got it within few hours. She even posted the pictures to say, hey, I'm happy. this guy was amazing. I'm glad he came through.
Obviously, it's something I don't agree with personally.
Of course.
Because of my principles and the person
Of
I
course,
generally am.
yes.
But you can have the Sodom and Gomorrah there.
Don't do
Hey,
that.
it's man's voicing his opinion, though.
No, I do understand, but I'm not like to say, oh no, that's no, like
Yeah.
if that's you, you know, personally for me, if that's you, that's you. As for me, of course not. I don't dabble in
And
that.
that's what counts. Stay in your lane. Don't force yourself in that people's lane. Like if you know that's who this guy is, don't try and.
And let's not say that's who this guy is, because there are ladies like that too. If you know who this person is, okay.
Yeah, like the example I just gave, the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of lady she is. So that's her. I really can't say
Ladies
anything.
are coming out strong nowadays. I just saw Kanye Bao broke this other guy's heart.
Even
Like,
who was
so ladies
Zodo.
are also.
The dude was online.
Yeah.
Zoda even set it up on one of the gaming shows that she was recently in. She was like, no, Judah canteen, I was alone and I needed someone, and I just got someone, and now he's back with his girlfriend. I was like,
Don't you think the easy access to sexual, let me say sexual encounter is making it difficult for people to commit? Because
If
it's
you-
easily accessible now.
if you come in for the sex,
Yeah, for sure.
but if you come in with conditions that before we actually have sex, you know, let's first talk.
Okay.
If you got sex from the get-go, trust me.
Okay, let's
That's not a
compare.
problem.
Let's compare to before. Like let's talk about 20 years back, right?
No, but before we remember sex, we took the whole sex as a sin seriously.
Yes, that's
Before
what.
marriage.
Okay, let's take
Yeah.
it back then.
Yeah.
Right? It's a sin. Okay, let's
It's still a
hypothesize.
sin.
Okay, cool. Okay,
By
it's
the
a
way.
sin. That made it hard
Never
for the
stop
easy access to it. Right? It was hard because I know the Zulus had the practice where girls had to go get checked
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
So as a girl, you would not want to mess up.
Yeah.
You know, you keep yourself
Yes.
intact.
Yes.
Right? That's back then. Cool. The access to sex was hard. It was difficult. Now we come in our century, you know. A lot of these traditions are slowly dying out. A lot of people don't believe in that tradition anymore.
Yeah.
So there's no checkup every year. We can participate. There's no repercussions. So hence the easy access to it. Yes, that's the comparison I'm making. Don't you think that easy access to it
definitely-
makes it now, you know,
Definitely it does.
That's
easy
the role.
for us not to commit? Because bro, if I can get anyone and satisfy myself, what's the need for waiting?
No,
I'm just saying.
That's actually
I disagree, gents. It's never been difficult to get access to sex, believe it or not.
Okay.
Never. Like ever.
Okay.
Okay, so before you jump in, let me just slide something in there. He has a valid point, says it's never been difficult to get access.
Okay.
But with what Carlos says, that if me as an individual, and this might come off pretty, competitive or in some way somehow
Yeah.
compromising. If me as an individual value myself, I would feel guilty just asking for sex. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sure.
So if me coming in and be like, I just want sex, are you devaluing the person that you're gonna have sex with? That's how I would look at it.
Oh, you look at them as a
That's
sex
me.
object already.
Yeah, because
Okay.
first of all, I don't really like the notion of objectifying women.
Of course,
I
yeah.
personally don't like them.
Okay.
So if I come and just have sex with you and I move, I feel like I've done that to you. So my conscience is like, nah, dude, you messed up. You know, that's now me. You know, and that's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong. That's just how I would look, and that's where my difficultness would come.
I
in.
see, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, even in a committed relationship, right, the underlying expectation is at some point we're gonna have sex,
Yeah.
be it in a marriage, ideally, in most cases it's not in a marriage, okay. Along the course of the
Of getting to there.
things happen,
Yeah.
okay. The only difference now between then and now is everything was hush hush, bro. If you want to go
True.
25 years ago versus now, there's a culture shock. If you took someone from 25 years ago and put them here, the mind blow, like the culture shock would be too much. They'd probably just like, because
Okay. Now
it's all in the
now I
open.
get you.
Everything was so hush hush back then. Even in a relationship, we'd say that word and then everyone gets all giggly and stuff. Now we don't have to. I feel like it's all out in the open. I can be with a girl, like I'm dating someone, like we together, and I can bring up the topic and say, look, babe, we've been together for like 6 months now. I'm out here, you see me. I would like us to have sex. And she can put a point and say, no, I don't think we should because of this, this, and that. And if this is a proper relationship and there's respect and there's values there, dude, why would I not agree with what she's got to say?
Yeah.
If we both in agreement, we're gonna do it. I think it's just about vocalizing it now.
But are the reasons enough to withhold you from doing that though? Because there are no more, what can I say, strong reasons and, why you should not participate.
Were there ever strong reasons though?
But also, I just wanted to ask as well, as a man, because I mean, Steve Harvey has this book that a woman has to wait to set up. As a man, do you think you also need to wait? Or you feel like if she gives you from the get-go, you're gonna take it?
Personally,
if
I'm with someone and from the get-go, she's willing to give it, I'm gonna take it, man.
You take it?
What do you want me to do?
You're going to get it.
Okay, that's just me.
No, but I'm with you.
That's just me. Yeah. There are people like where obviously you've got a strong religious upbringing.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I do. You've got that background. You've got that background.
You have to explain it to them.
You've got. I did have to put it out there. My dad might see this, but anyway, I've got a strong background.
Yeah.
And even knowing that, bro, I feel like yes, it depends on your level of involvement with your belief system, right? Because one thing that happens, especially with guys our age, is as we grow up, there comes a time where your belief systems get turned upside down. You don't know what you believe anymore. You find a compromise. Like a lot of things don't make sense. Some of those things are your core values. And if, let's say, me at 15 was like, I will not touch a woman until I'm married, versus me now, where at first chance, you best believe I'm gonna take it.
So would you say that's because of experience over the years?
I'd say it's a natural thing, man. It's a natural thing.
Is it a question of morality though?
I don't think it's a question of morality. Honestly, I disagree with that notion. If it's a question of morality, there's too many factors relative to what? Whose morals are correct.
Okay. That's the thing. No, let's take it from the structure of morality from, as we are all believers. Cool.
Yeah.
God as the moral
of course,
objective
as the moral high ground. Yes.
Don't you think it's a question of morality? Because now your structure of morality is crumbling. Now you begin to question it has turned upside down. So is that the objective?
It's not even morality. Like my approach to my faith in the past 2 to 3 years has changed so much. You know what I'm saying? Like having been brought up a certain way with certain principles and values and things, and then applying them as much as possible, and then now you're in a position where you're getting information from everywhere, you're trying to make sense of things, and then you go back and you obviously go back to your anchor, like what holds me, what does this do? But you can't help the human mind from thinking, bro. You start questioning, you start,
it's growth.
As I said, the question of morality.
It's growth, like it changes and
you see the morality you believe in as morality? As I say, it's the questioning.
It's the questioning. Morality is more of like your foundation, like what I said, what you go back to.
Yes.
As long as you get your morals right, no matter the experiences you go through life, I mean, you are gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have certain things that you might regret or might not regret.
Very true.
As long as you know who you are as a person, morally, spiritually, whatever factors affect your life, you will come back to who you truly are. Eventually, it's full circle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's
But
full circle.
I literally say most of these morals that we're gunning for abstinence, we took them in the wrong way also when we're young. Whenever you looked at morals, you saw as that's why we. That's cool. I was about to say that's why he's going around and do what he's doing.
That's factual, bro.
I'm so sorry.
It's factual.
But what I was gonna say, the reason why it's like this now. When you were young, it's all about, hey, it's forbidden. And as a child, as human beings, when they say don't touch the red button, that's what makes you want to touch it.
Exactly.
But I feel like the morals were just there and we misunderstood. They were there to teach us how to value these things.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Don't you think that those morals are out of fear and not genuine morals? Because those are,
Oh, yes,
fear.
yes,
It's our parents telling
yes.
us don't do this, don't do that, and because we're scared, we're not gonna do it. But
There's
those genuine
consequences.
moralities.
This is what I think. I believe the morals were genuine, but the way the parents communicated it was wrong. The fact that it was communicated incorrectly does not discredit the fact that this moral is actually very beneficial. For example, the women in the Zulu kingdom, let's say for example,
Yes.
they have to be checked constantly. Yes, you can see it, in this day and age, I need to do it. But then at the end of the day, it is beneficial. My only point is it is beneficial. And if you take it with the right mentality, it can serve you. Now, personally, let me just make an example with myself personally. Let me just say the reason why I would not have excessive sex, like promiscuous sex, the reason I would, my reason is that
You make it look dirty.
Yes.
Like a dirty
let's be
guy.
honest, that's what it is.
It's a
nowadays.
beautiful thing. I'm just kidding.
That's what it is.
No. Sex is a beautiful thing.
Yes,
It's not.
the intention, of course.
Not the moving around.
No, but continue.
Yeah, I'm
continue.
just
Yeah.
gonna say, this is why I'm doing it personally, or maybe I would abstain, because I feel like sexual energy should be respected. It's your life force. I mean, if you're giving yourself so easily, it must be having some sort of psychological and spiritual influence on you. So now I'm obeying abstinence, not because of that old mindset of forbidden.
No,
As
within
an
the right
adult,
context.
Now I'm more actually mature enough to know that I'm doing this because of these are the benefits, not just because my pastor was all over my
So
face.
for you, it has gone beyond religion.
It has just gone.
I mean, it
beyond
has to
religion.
go,
It's
bro.
now
It's
who
more,
you are.
it's more anchored on, hey man, what do I want?
Your own personal
Yeah.
Hey,
beliefs.
that sure is beautiful,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I have someone at home, so let me relax.
Your own personal belief. So it goes back to that. I mean, for you to reach that point, in conclusion, for you to reach that point of, breaking out of that God as the objective morals and thou shalt not, you have to question it. And out of the questioning, it just collapses. The whole moral structure you had from your childhood collapses. Now you have to somehow
Get
construct
some-
your own
that is powerful,
Yeah.
that is
that will hold you at all times.
And what you said, even the Bible does say, challenge everything. Don't just go for it because it says don't do this.
True.
Challenge it.
You have to
You have your own self. How is it? Your own self.
Like your own opinion or whatever.
Like your own. It's
Self-conviction.
like so your own self conviction. Be like, you know what? Yes, I know it does say this.
Yeah.
But I follow it because I myself have actually experienced it, and I know what it means to follow this or not to follow that.
Sure. Well, guys, that was
Yeah, that was an interesting one though.
an interesting one.
Some shots were fired at.
Yeah. Hey man,
Someone got shot at.
I've got a bulletproof vest.
He's short. He's like,
I was like, he shot at. Oh, sorry.
he's like,
I shot him in the leg. Like, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake.
yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for today.
It was nice.
I really appreciate your time, and I really love the whole talk. I know we could go on for many hours because these are very interesting topics that we really need to sit and come to a very nice conclusion and also, yeah, that's it.
Alright guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. Hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Luke M has a lot of content for you guys. Trust me, he's a genius at what he does. Also, catch me every Thursday at 5 o'clock on my YouTube page, Flyface Media House. I've got comedy for you guys. Like, I bring in the humor, I bring in the laughs. You guys will love it. Peace.